Hey, how's it going? So this week I've got a really cool and useful Notion database automation to share with you. This can be especially useful if you're a freelancer, contractor, or a business owner that provides a service and receives payment through paid invoices. So what this automation does is after the due date has passed and you change the status to overdue, it will automatically fire out an email to the client whose invoice is overdue, reminding them, it can be whatever message you set, but reminding them, hey, this invoice is overdue. Can you please pay it? And here's a link that you can immediately click through to pay and do so. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'll show you how to set this up. So first things first, you'll want to click the lightning bolt there, and we'll go to new automation, and we can call this past due invoice mail client. For the trigger, we will set this as status only when it's overdue. We can click done. So now the action that we're going to want to have to take place is sending that email directly from Notion. You would click the send mail from Notion. If you haven't already hooked up an email address, it'll just quickly prompt you to do so. It's a matter of steps, really pretty simple. So now who this goes to, of course, we would want this to fill dynamically depending on the row in your database, i.e. which client it is that has the overdue invoice. So we'll click client contact, which is this column here you can see in the background, which is going to pull in that email address. Subject can be whatever you want. Let's just select some generic, like past due invoice. And now for our message here, we'll say, hey, now in this instance, I'm going to use the company name, but if you had a field that was like main or primary contact at that company, you could also dynamically pull in that for, the first name or the beginning of your email. But in this instance, I'll just throw in the client name. So, hey, client name, just notice that this invoice of yours is overdue. And one thing, if you're good about the naming convention of your invoices, say you would like to send that as well, we can pull that in as another dynamic field. You can see the background here. It's just invoice number, which is kind of generic, but if you had a unique naming convention for it, it could be useful to include it. So we will in this example. So you can say, hey, here's the invoice client that is overdue. Please pay this at your earliest convenience. You can do so with this link. So now this part's pretty cool. It's hidden here in the background, but I also have a column in this database that contains the specific Stripe link that the client can click on and use a credit card to pay this invoice for. So could be really, really useful if you don't have that set up, or you can duplicate this invoice database afterwards and follow that method. But the quickest way to get them to pay would be say, hey, here's the link. Please pay it as soon as you can. So include that as well. I hope you pick up on the fact that you can pull in a lot of information into these emails. You could even do something like express what the due date was and or when you issued it to them. Those are two values that you can see here in the background that I also have in this database. So if you'd like to build out this notification email that they will receive, those would be two other good fields that you could include. And I'll just finish this email by saying, thanks, Matt. And then you can adjust some other stuff here, such as the display name. This is pretty typical email stuff. I'll throw my name in. If the replies, the email address that you would like to receive your replies to is different than the one you're sending from, you can adjust that there, but it's not for me in this case, so I'll leave that blank. And so as easy as that, we'll click enable, and now you can see I have the, this was my first one. I'll clear that out real quick. Now you can see our other automation is set up, and now let's see how it works. Let's check out the magic. So, okay, in this example, I sent this invoice to client XYZ Inc. Let's imagine that the due date is not the 27th and it has already passed. All I have to do is go in here, change status to overdue, and I'll jump to my email here in a second and you'll see the email pop up that that client would be receiving. So let's go there. Okay, so here we go. Pass through invoice. Hey, XYZ Inc. Just noticed that this invoice of yours is overdue. It's this invoice right here. Please pay at your earliest convenience, and you can do so here through the Stripe link. And there it is. A really simple database automation that can help freelancers, consultants, business owners out pretty easily. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.